There has been foul play afoot. Feline foul play. Hey friends, welcome back to the Polish Protege. As you can see, the kittens have been into my plants. So I'm making some adjustments, not just for the kittens. I've gone ahead and lowered both of my seed strays down here. I just planted this one, I'll tell you about it in a second. Lowered them down here because I do think that that heater vent is drying this out too much. I didn't think it would, but it is. So I was in error there. That doesn't matter. And then I also, before they used to be underneath this one, which was higher up, and I've gone ahead and dropped my grow lights very low over top. Now I can only do this for a little bit. Once they're up and they start growing, I'll have to bump them up a little bit as they go. But in the meantime, it's good to have your lights low to your seedlings. It keeps them from getting all stretched out and stringy. Lots of times you get what's called leggy, sorry, I'm really stuffed up. Leggy seedlings, and it's because they're reaching for light. So keeping the lights low is actually really good for them, and maybe it will dissuade the kittens from playing with tags. So let me tell you, the biggest problem with starting seeds inside has nothing to do with actual seed starting and everything to do with how that makes you feel, because it makes you feel like you need to plant more. And then once you've planted a couple, you're like, okay, I need to plant a couple more. What else can I plant? What else can I put here? And it is only the very end of January, February 1st, maybe February 1st. It is only the very first day of February. And I'm down here going, what else can I plant? What else can I plant? And not much. I can't plant much right now. It's too early. This is why I always end up with giant tomato forests in my basement while I wait for them to be planted outside. But I did plant the other things that I was supposed to plant alongside those onion seeds. So let me show you those couple things I planted that did actually legitimately need to be started early. So this is the first of my 72 cell bootstrap farmer trays that I got. They're super fun. They are a little bit of a pain in the butt to fill up because these holes right here in the middle stay open. So I just filled the entire thing up, and then I lifted this insert out and dumped whatever soil was in here back into my bucket. That worked pretty good. It wasn't a huge big deal. Not enough to make me not like them. So I planted 2 rows of celery, and there are multiple seedlings in each of these. Vera lavender, eucalyptus, a row of rosemary. Oh, I lied, 2 rows of rosemary. I'm kind of determined to get some good rosemary plants this year. So these first 6 rows are planted. I have 6 rows that are filled, not planted yet. I'm going to add something in there, but I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. As much as I want to fill an entire thing, that I'm going to save that for the other herby type things that I'll plant towards the end of February. So right now, 6 rows. Beautiful. Over here are our onions, which are not sprouting. I'm a little worried they're too warm. They like cold to germinate. So I'm going to turn the heater off in this room and give them some more water. But they're okay. They take a long time. I'm just eager. I just get antsy. It's seed starting time, guys. All right, here is the thing I actually came down here to plan to talk about. These are ranunculus corms. These are the other part of my birthday present from my husband who forgot. Kathy, I can't fit a fluffy cow. Oh, I wish I could fit a fluffy cow, but I cannot. But I can fit ranunculus corms. They're gonna be great. So ranunculus are these beautiful plants that I did not know existed for many years. I planted them for the first time 2 years ago, and I had a couple last year in my garden. If you go back and look at maybe hello Bailey, what you doing? If you go back and look at some of the garden videos from last spring, you might see a couple, but this is the box, and they actually have pictures of them in here. Look at, those are ranunculus. They're gorgeous. Lots of times places that sell ranunculus also sell anemones. I have not grown anemones. I've only grown the ranunculus. The problem with these kind of flowers is, one, they're expensive. So I bought, let's see here, I bought 2 packs of ranunculus corms. There's 20 in each pack, so I got 40 corms for $50. A lot more expensive than seeds. 2, they're harder to take care of. They require a little bit more work. I can't just go throw these in the ground and plant them. I can't even just sprout them in the house and take care of them until it's time to go. I'll show you what I'm gonna do with them. So they're a little bit more, time consuming. Also, you can't leave the corms outside to overwinter here where I am at in Michigan. They're kind of like tubers with dahlia tubers where you can grow them all year, but at the end of the year you have to lift them from the soil. You have to dry them out, but not too dry. They have to be moist, but they can't get damp and rot. There's a whole bunch of things. You have to keep them somewhere really good for the wintertime. And then in the spring, you start the whole process over. And I don't have an ideal space for that. I really, really don't. My basement is a little bit cooler, but I don't quite have a cold storage room yet. Although I've got a closet over there and it's on my to-do list of projects. Don't tell my husband. So I haven't got too deep into it, but they're so pretty. I probably wouldn't have ordered them if he hadn't forgot my birthday. So every time we see a Ranunculus this year, we tell Bren, good job, because this is what I got. So they come in these little bags, and there is 2 bags here of 20 each. And I'm gonna show you what they look like because they're a little bit alien looking. They do not look like a seed you've ever seen. Hang on, I'll flip you around. So they came in this bag, just a brown paper bag because they need airflow. And they look like this, kind of like an alien claw, right? They got little feeties, and this is really not focusing very good on them. That's kind of better. And when you get them, they're different sizes. This one looks like it's multiples, maybe fused together. You're gonna go through and kind of separate them all out. Okay, so I'm gonna open these bags, sort these all out, and then what you need to do, and these are just little pinched off things, they're not gonna grow. You need the actual part of it here. I'm gonna go ahead and put these into water, and you kind of plump them up, right? And they look really dry and kind of dead. You wanna wake them up. So most things that I have read, and again, I am not a ranunculus expert in the least bit. Most of the time it says that you put them into water that is continuously running, which is very wasteful for water consumption, but I'm gonna do it because they're beautiful, and you let them go for a couple hours. So I'm gonna put them into some water and put them in the sink with a light running drip on it for a couple hours and plump them back up, and then I'll come back and show you how they look. So literally all I'm gonna let them do is I'm gonna fill this up so they're covered just with warm water, not hot, not cold, just regular water. They are gonna get hydrated. All right, they're all floating. I'm gonna turn this way down to a trickle for a bajillion hours. This is what's gonna happen for this entire time. I'm gonna have cats in the sink. You can drink the water, but leave the ranunculus corms alone. Got it? Oh, good. Okay, several hours later, we're coming back. And these are our corms. See how nice and plump they are, how they are all moistened up? They look alive now, not dead and shrivelly. So now we're gonna take them downstairs and we are going to plant them. Okay, down in the grow room here is what I got. I'm just gonna use one of these containers I saved. I don't know, looks like some kind of fruit container. And I'm gonna go over here. Oops. Probably should have got this ready first. I got some soil in here, and I'm just gonna scoop a bunch out. Oops, I got a container in there. Well, that was forward thinking of me. All right, and I'm just gonna put a layer down. And I'm gonna find some water. All right, now I'm just gonna take the corms, I added a little water. So I've got just, not wet, but just a damp layer of soil on the bottom. And I'm gonna take these little corms, and I'm gonna plant them finger side down. Does that make sense? So, like that. I'll show you when I got some more. I'm gonna go ahead and do all these. Are you ready? Okay, when I'm all done, they're gonna look like this. They're all just kind of nestled up next to each other. I might have wanted to give them a little tiny bit more room, but this is okay. Because all we're doing is we're gonna cover these up and we're going to put them in a dark place and we're gonna let them pre-sprout the roots. I'm not even trying to get green growth on this. I'm just trying to get those roots started. And then once that happens, I'll dig them up, separate them out into their own pots, and then I'll start letting them grow. So back over here, and I am just gonna top these with some more soil. I do want it to be dark, but I'm not looking to give these a whole bunch of soil to get rooted in. I'm gonna give them a little bit of water on top over here. Let's see here. Whoops. Listen, messes are made. It happens. All right, now I am going to put this somewhere dark and cold, ideally. All right, we're in another part of the dark basement. Here's what I did. I took them and I put them in a bag. I'm leaving it open. You don't need to close this. In fact, it's probably not even the best thing to do because it's going to keep moisture in there. I'm going to leave this open, but I didn't want my cats to come dig in it. So I'm going to leave it like this. And I'm actually going to put it down here in this sink, which does not get used very often. It's cool here. It's right next to the chest freezer and a back outside wall. This is probably the coldest spot I can find in my house. I would put them outside. A garage would be ideal. I don't have a garage, so everything outside is not temperature controlled and would actually be too cold. So they're going to live here. And the cats all followed me to see where I was going, so I think the plastic bag was a good idea. So now the ranunculus are in their home. They're going to stay there. Ideally, within maybe 2 weeks, roots should start to come out, small ones. But I want to kind of wait until the roots are a little bit longer, about an inch long. I'm going to give them about a month. I might put 3 weeks. I might put 3 weeks on my calendar for a reminder to go off to check the ranunculus. If they are an inch long, that's when I'm going to take them out of there. I'm going to be able to see the white roots kind of run through them. And then I'll pot them up in pots and put them somewhere. I'm not sure where. By then, a month from now, this grow room will probably be, well, hello, darling, will probably be too warm for them. The problem I had when I did this last time is that they went into my warm grow house. Then I had to acclimate them to being outside, which they're a cool season flower. So I kind of added a heat up stage in there that I didn't really need. So this year, I think what I'm going to try and do is maybe put them outside in their containers in a month if it's warm enough. Michigan, work with me here. We'll see. All right, so there we go. Ranunculus potted up to pre-root and hopefully get outside sooner and make the gorgeous flowers. This should be a really interesting season. All right, see you guys soon.